girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I am so good. What's that?
Freshed up and lovely, so comfy. Girl.
Yourself as well, looking all fresh. I don't know.
It's hot. I think it's hot today. I only went out. I only went out about just for an hour, and then I came back indoors. I'm so exhausted, to be honest. So I was pretty much
Yeah.
sleeping. I
Oh
slept.
man.
I just needed to sleep because it's been hectic. It's been a hectic week. This last week was just crazy. But
Right, I can imagine.
yeah,
But then I wish I had your skin because you don't look oily at all. Some of us, the heat makes us oily.
You know what's funny? My face, if I get a pimple,
Uh-huh.
I don't need to do anything. 2 days, it just disappears. I don't know what's up with the pH on my skin, but honestly, it's pretty amazing. It's really amazing, amazing
Oh
skin. I'm so
wow.
grateful for it. Seriously,
For
Tando,
you.
really.
Good for you. Oh, you look beautiful anyway.
So do
Just
you,
saying.
girl.
Thank you. So, welcome to Tough Love Giggles and congratulations on your latest release. I love it. I love it. Like
Thank
you saw
you
it
so
all over my social media.
much. Thank you. Keep going, guys. We need to push. Let's
Right.
everybody.
And please do not stop for nobody at all. You keep going
No,
as well.
I
So,
definitely
just to start up, really bring our listeners up to speed with your upbringing and a little bit about your background, if you don't mind.
Wow. So I was born and bred in Zimbabwe in Harare.
Mhm.
Um, my mom is an accountant by profession. My dad is a doctor, a surgeon, and anesthetist now. Oh my God, he's everything.
Mhm.
Uh, so I moved to Australia, relocated in 2001 when I was
Mhm.
14 years of age. And I've been here since.
Right. Wow.
So
2001.
2001. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
dear. Oh wow.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And let's see. How old were you, if you don't mind me asking? Were you in high school?
I was 14 years of age. So
Oh dear.
first, I only had my first year of high school, and then first term of
Uh-huh.
Form 2,
Oh
and then
wow.
I relocated to Aussie. So I didn't have my high school in, like, pretty much. I finished my high. I actually skipped 2 grades. So Form
Mm.
3 and 4, I didn't do it. I only did the Form 4, which is the school certificate here,
All
end of
right.
the year, at the end of the year. And then I went to the A levels. So I skipped 2 because the levels, like, they were just too much. I felt like the Australian curriculum is so easy.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so they had to put me ahead to 2 grades because I was like, nah, this is just too much. I couldn't cope. Like, it was too easy.
Oh,
So
oh, oh,
that's
oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so much for being too smart. And besides, Zim education was really good
It's
back
tough,
then.
man.
Right? It was
I'm
tough.
glad I escaped the Form 2 and I escaped the O level because, whoa, guys, that's a little bit intense. It's intense. I think it's intense.
Right. No, that is so awesome and good to know. So congratulations on the release of your new single, Almighty God. Do you mind telling us about that and the meaning behind the song? What motivated you to write it if you're the one that wrote it?
Okay, so I wrote it with one of my friends. He's a Nigerian person. He's a
Mm,
producer
mm.
based in Port Harcourt. He's
Okay.
from Christ Embassy. So we
Oh.
wrote this song together. And the reason why is I just wanted to collaborate with a Nigerian person because at the moment they've got the fever for the gospel music. I must say, as you can
Mhm.
see,
Yep.
they pretty much everybody wants to write with them and wants to collaborate with them because I don't
Mm.
know, I think it's just their season of grace at the present moment. So I wrote with him the song, and that was not even meant to be my first single. But the
Oh.
reason I used it as a first single was because I recorded it first for some reason, and the other
Mm.
ones are still in the process of getting recorded, part of the EP. So I'm still processing my EP at the moment. So I was
Okay.
like, Mighty God for me was in between contemporary and African. So
Oh.
I was like, okay, let me release this and see how I go because I felt like I had kind of not given much into the African community as what I
Mm.
wanted. So I was like, you know what, let me do this first. And bam, gosh, the response has been amazing. And it has
Right.
been nominated for 4 awards, Maranatha Awards in the US. And that was 2 days after the release. And I said, guys, what are you doing? They're like, yeah, we've nominated you for these awards in June, and the voting process starts in April. So I was like, oh my God, I'm really honored. So it's still
What?
sinking in. I don't even know which ones I've been nominated for. Actually, it's 4 of them. One of them is an upcoming artist, and the other 3 I don't even,
Oh,
because it's still
wow.
sinking in my head.
I get it. I
I was like,
get it.
what? 2 days after a release, I'm like, okay, what a swift thing. And you know what's funny? Abraham is like taking it so easy. He's like, oh wow, that's wonderful. I'm like, dude, our song got nominated for awards. Come on. It's like, oh sis, I'm really glad. But he's taking it so easy. I'm like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this child.
Wow.
But
Good
like,
for
I'm really excited.
you.
Thank you.
Good for
Thank you.
you and congratulations. I totally understand, especially like if it's your first time and you're not expecting it. And like you're
Yeah,
saying, you wanted to see how people are going to receive it, how people are going to
yeah,
react to it, right? And talk
yeah.
about Nigerians supporting each other because that actually kind of helped, right? Because those people are so supportive.
They're very supportive.
Mhm.
And I'm really really grateful for what he's done. So at the present moment, we're recording more stuff. It's gonna
Mhm.
come. There's a Shona song that's gonna come. Actually, I'm already
Mhm.
behind the recording because I've been so busy with interviews this past week. I haven't been having time
Mhm.
to go into the studio to record the next single that's coming up. But
Mhm.
that one is a Shona and an English song. Because
Oh,
Zimbabweans have been like, Tarisai, you have not done anything, Shona. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. And I was
and
like,
we
okay,
got you.
fine.
And we got
Yes,
you.
just do it and get over and done with it. And I can't, this one is really, really amazing. I was testing it recently. I think it was the week before
Mm.
last, and it sounded really amazing. So I can't wait to get into the studio and just nail that song and just bam, bam, bam it.
Ooh. I
And
am getting excited for you. I am getting excited for you because when you
yeah,
when you're not expecting it, that's when a lot of things happen, right? When
yeah,
you're not
very
expecting it.
true.
And right now, I am so thankful even for you making time to come here, like having so many interviews. I know it can be so exhausting, right? To think of, oh my gosh, I have to wake up and I have an interview. But then thank God our time difference kind of made it
But
easy.
our time difference from Australia, like I had an interview with Obert on Friday. So what
Right.
I did was I misconstrued the time, and then
Oh.
I was in church and we were having a conference. That's why I'm
Mm,
really tired, because we just had a conference. So we were
mm,
during prayers and ministration. So we were praying and my phone was on silent, and he rang me
mm.
7 times and he's like, "Girl, we're in the middle of the show. Where are you?" And I was like,
Wow.
"Ah!" I took my phone and went backstage into the
Right.
green room, and I was like, "Guys, I'm so sorry. It's
Oh,
because I misconstrued the
wow.
time, because of the
Yeah,
time
yeah.
difference. Australia is just odd,
Right.
middle
And
of nowhere.
where was the presenter?
He's from the UK. Orbit was East
Ah,
Sussex.
yeah, yeah. Time
So
difference.
I'm the one who misconstrued the time, and I was like,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. So
yeah.
Australia's in the middle of nowhere. Talk about New Zealand. New Zealand is like an island that is just down there, and there's no one. I remember a flight attendant was just telling, "Oh my God, you did Australian Idol." He was like, "I believe me, I did New Zealand."
Oh dear. 1, 2 testing. Oh, it just froze. Okay, so while we wait for Tarisai to join us back,
Idol too. This is why I'm a flight attendant, because we're in the
let me
middle
see.
of nowhere. I'm back.
Okay. Now, oh, you're back. You're
Oh,
back. Yeah, I got you back. So I totally missed the flight attendant bit. I just heard the last bit saying
oh,
flight
okay.
attendant. Yeah.
So I was flying to New Zealand, and
Mhm.
he met me. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm one of your fans, blah blah blah." And he was like, "Believe me, I'm a flight attendant, but I did New Zealand Idol as well. But you see, as you can tell, my country is in the middle of nowhere. Even if you do that show, you're not going anywhere, because we're just there. It's just a country that's just there." And I
Oh
felt bad for
dear.
him. He was like, "This is why I'm a flight attendant and not a singer, because New
Yeah.
Zealand is a small country, and they're
Right.
just themselves there. Their music,
Mhm.
they promote each other in
Mhm.
that country, but they
Mhm.
don't really interact with many countries outside to venture outside. So with Australia, you have to work. Australia and New Zealand, you pretty much have to work very hard for you to literally break out. And the gospel industry here is not yet huge, and we're trying to break through and remove that stigma. Like the gospel music is not like the UK, Canada, or America. So it needs
especially UK. Talk about UK.
Yeah, UK is good. UK is very, very good. Yeah.
Right, but anyway, do not despair. After Five Radio is here for you, so please do send through all your music, and we'll be happy to showcase it for you. And
Thank you so much.
what made you then get into the gospel industry, really? Because I saw when I was just going through doing research on you and stuff like that, I noticed that one of your first songs was in 2018, right? Was that the time that you started singing, or it was just your first release?
That was 2017, end of 2017. That was the release of my first album, and it was a Christian album. So I transitioned. I really did. I needed to obey the call of God upon my life. Pretty much, I was called to be a worshiper. That was since I was young. That was meant to be. But then I branched out into secular music as soon as I settled in Australia, because that was what was available at the time, and for experience and everything. And through that, I just found myself in there. And the worst thing that happened for me was that I was offered, I think, about 4 deals. One was with Def Jam Records, one was with Warner, Universal, and the other one, I've totally forgotten what it was. But they were all American deals, and through DMX and Snoop Dogg and everybody else.
What?
Manager at the time, I'm telling you, this is real. This is what happened to me. And my manager at the time, he just ruined everything. I think because obviously when you're getting signed to those majors, they have their own plans and their own management that they want to give you. So he wasn't willing to let me go. And I was a minor, and he ditched all the deals without me knowing. So with my anger, I realized that later with one of my friend who was a rapper at the time and was signed to the same label, and we pretty much just decided, look, let's just ditch him. And that's when I sent my demo through to go to one of the managers that was managing all the Australian idols in Australia, and he liked my stuff, and he said, you know what, I feel like you're not yet developed, but I want you to go to Australian Idol. That will give you a lot of exposure and a lot of development. And boy, was he right. That's how I got into Idol. And then a lot of things happened, a lot of politics. I guess it was part of racism as well. I was not supposed to win, but I was meant to take a second place in the show. And that didn't happen. They swapped me with the girl that was who won. She was meant to be in the 5th place. They swapped everything because it was a rigged show. So that was what happened. And to cut the long story short, the judge got fired, and it was just a whole big ball game there. So, and the winner never sold anything in the end. She just went into drugs and everything. And the person who was meant to win, he was a young boy who was 16, and he happened to be one of the best writers in the world. And he's just amazing, pretty much. So, you know, that's what happened. And after that, I got into music theater because I felt that I wanted to earn more, and I wanted to get into acting, and I wanted to improve my skills, especially my vocal skills. And music theater, you can never really go wrong. So I did that. And then just before I graduated, I was now auditioning for Disney for like 9 months. That the longest audition I've ever had in my whole life. It was really stressful. I don't know how many times I kept on being threatened, kicked out of those auditions and coming back again. I was like, y'all need me. And to Disney. It was really funny. Like there were like 9 months was intense. I swear it was really, really intense. So I got signed to Disney and started the whole music theater journey with Lion King just after I graduated music theater from uni. And in the midst there, I had studied psychology at uni as well. So that was good. So I was set by the age of 25, 26. I was set, and then I just continued up until now. And then my first album was in 2017.
And then look at Romans 8:28 in your life. Things working together for your own good, right?
Good.
At the end of the day, who knows? If you had taken that, if you had won the idols, and who would have known, maybe you're the one who was going to end up getting into drugs. You
I have
never
a
know,
feeling, yeah, because that
right?
whole world,
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was some of the contestants I didn't even know there were users as well. And you
Mm-hmm.
and I was 20, I knew nothing about this. And you
Mm-hmm.
just see people's characters that people are odd. I didn't know they were having substance abuse in them or anything like that. So that world was pretty much a harsh world. I think, you never know what would have happened. But my spiritual father is a prophet, and he was like, Tarisai, if you had won that show, probably you'd have been dead by now. We'd be talking about history.
Hallelujah!
Hey, it's grace. So
It is
I'm
grace.
really grateful for the journey.
Oh
It is
my gosh, I
grace,
am
girl.
so
It is grace.
excited for you and just hearing your journey, everything that you've, like just your journey on its own, having to audition for this long, which is even funny. I used to think auditions were scary, but I find them being fun now.
Yeah.
They're so fun
I
because
freeze.
you freeze?
I always I freeze because I'm the best dancer. Every time it comes to Corey, I'm a disappointment. Like seriously,
Yeah.
I start freezing and messing up things. I'm like, can you just please can you just redo that part again? I don't get now I have a tendency of asking because I've seen that, oh my god, if I don't
Yeah.
ask, something might be ruined here. So
Mm.
but you know what? It's hard work. Like I'm telling you, it's like a long line. You have
It
to
is.
audition for these things. You
You
have
have
to
to.
music theater. It's sometimes they get you and they say, "Hey, we want you," but most of the times you have to audition as well. And just
So how did you feel when you got to experience like racism in the music industry in that way, like something that was so huge? It was a huge show and you name it, right? So did you not feel like giving up at some point in your life to say, you know what, but why would they do that to me, right? Like I'm just human like everybody else, despite color, because we're supposed to be looking at each other as a human race, not by color, right? Didn't you feel discouraged of some sort?
um, because I was young at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but looking back at it now,
Mm-hmm.
after growing up, then I
Mm-hmm.
realized, yes, this was racism. Because
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we had, for example, when we went for interviews,
Mm-hmm.
or we would visit children's hospitals, and then they would film us and tell us, asking us, how do you feel about this and your
Mm-hmm.
opinion. I could find that sometimes they would put other people more their footage more than a black person's footage. And I
Of
remember, for
course.
example, we were on the red carpet, like we had a
Mm-hmm.
red carpet event. We had a lot of red carpet events, and I like the stylist used to give us what to wear, and it would be like, Tarsa, you're wearing this today, or so and so, you're wearing this today. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously you would wear heels like to pose on the red carpet. And I remember, if you're signing autographs for quite a while, the heels would be painful, or you had a handbag, right? You
Mm-hmm.
had a handbag with you, and you would ask the PA or something, personal assistant, to say, can you please hold my handbag so I can take a photo with this man or sign stuff? She'd be like, oh, I can't hold your handbag. And I'm like, why can't you hold my handbag, girl? Like, it's time for me to sign. I have to work. You can't be posing on the red carpet with us. You are supposed to be helping us so we can do our job. And I was like, carry the bag. And I thought, is it because a black person is asking you for assistance to
Mm-hmm.
help you? Or is it embarrassing that a black person is asking you to help them with their bag or something? So one day she ended up coming back and she'd be like to my stylist, can you please make sure you give Tarisai wedges, because she can't walk in the heels and she asks me to help her with the heels on, and it's just too much for me. And the stylist was like, no, she has to wear the heels because that is what looks good with the outfit. I can't give her wedges because you don't want to help her or assist her in with the shoes, because she has to do her work. Mind you, your work is to be assisting us so that we're able to deliver what we've been told by the PR company to deliver for
Mm-hmm.
the show, to make sure it moves forward. So those kind of things were happening quite a few times, and the little traps and everything. But it was very subtle. Like, it was subtle. You had to be smart to pick it up, and I was young. But now we just hope there's more that's going to come. We're just starting to see what is going on, and then we'll
Right.
raise the issue up and say, guys, you're not yet done. So we need black people to be elevated more in Australia. That's what I feel. It's still not
Exactly.
yet done.
And
Yeah.
we're meant to take up space. We are
We
going to
are going to take up space, though. We are, because we are talented. Come on, we are talented.
absolutely.
There is talent out there.
Absolutely. I want, don't worry. But you're not telling my boy. I'm just saying. Okay, so when did you discover your passion for music, for singing, and how was your support system?
My support system, I was just very lucky to have a mum that supported.
Mhm.
So I was raised by my mum only. So my auntie, my mum's youngest sister, she's late now. She was a singer. She was an amazing singer.
Ooh.
And so she used to sing with me at home. And obviously I grew up in Zayoja Ford in Faith. That was
Mhm.
my church when I was in Zim, and here up until 10 years ago when we moved to GPM, God's Power Ministries. So
Mhm.
I used to sing in church a lot, and obviously started at Sunday school, like obviously. And then I used to sing in church. I used to lead worship. At the age of 11, I was leading worship.
What?
So I started at a very young age, and I used to go to church with Shingisai Suluma and Tusi Chadoka, those guys. And so I learned just watching them pretty much, and I think that was a good platform and a good experience.
Mhm.
And by the time I got here at the age, I went to Kyle College for my high school, and we used to sing there as well, because we had a Caucasian South African teacher who was into music.
Oh,
So
nice.
she just used to take us for Stedfords and things like that. So by the time I got here, I was pretty much focused on that, and I
Mhm.
forgot everything else and just continued. But my mom understood
Mhm.
about the whole music thing. She supported me and my uncle.
Mhm.
And my dad pretty much didn't know that I was a singer. As much as I was close to my dad, I remember even when I was on Idol, I used to deny to him. He's like, I'm watching you every Sunday. Where are you? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, until I really needed the votes. There was a time when I went into bottom 3, and I was like, okay, I need this man and his doctors and his nurses at his hospital to start voting for me. And I was like, look, dude, I really need your help now. You need to start voting.
Oh,
And then he
dear.
did.
Oh,
And that's what
wow.
happened. So
Yeah.
my mom was pretty much literally my strength. Seriously.
Nice.
She
Shout out to
understood,
you,
and I
mommy.
shout out to that, because I remember when I went on Idol, she was not feeling well that day when I was auditioning. She was very sick. She was reacting to some medication misdiagnosis or something like that. And she was like, do you really want to do this show? Because once you're in, you know you're not going to come out of it. I know that, because you're good and you're still at uni. And I was like, oh, let me see how it goes. And if I find that it's a bit difficult, like it's getting intense, I'll pull out. But it was too late, so I had to defer a semester from uni.
Mhm.
And after that, I went back to uni after that season, and they were very understanding with my touring schedule and everything. So she's been supportive. She didn't stop me from doing what I wanted to do. What we did was we just chose a course that was easier for me to study, do my music at the same time studying. And it was between law, medicine, and psychology, and we chose psychology because it was slightly easier for me to concentrate and
Mhm.
do what I still wanted to do. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm grateful.
nice. Oh, nice. And
Yes.
good for you. And those who actually tuned in, I see comments. Anzi, okay. Anzi, comments here. You're sounding amazing. And
You.
another one, you're rocking the interview. I'm enjoying the vibe. Tarisai is such a great sport and is so inspirational, just so you know. So inspirational. And those were just tuning in. I am just hanging out with Tarisai Vushe, and we're getting to know the young lady based in Australia, her journey. She has been an idol, guys. If you didn't know, Saga, welcome to Tough Love Giggles, and I hope you enjoyed the interview. So just moving on, Tarisai, a couple of questions that I have for you here. So, even what you call it at the beginning of your career, how was that's the question that I asked a support system. So, how have you differentiated yourself in the industry that is becoming more and more populated? Although I know in Australia it's not as much because of colors, so to speak, right? How are you
Yeah.
able to just get into it and still focus without giving up?
I think basically I was not a social media person, and I
Mhm.
think it's because back in the days when it was in our likes, when we're still finding ourselves like with music, offering the deals, remember, when you're coming from an idol perspective, everything is done for you. You're pretty much not independent. You're used to that. And I remember with audiences was struggling with social media as well, because back in our times when I was still working with him, because I met him when I was like from 16. He's been my good friend for a long time. It's been very.
Back in our times, you look so young, my dear.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm 33 now. But anyway, I look 25, which is good. So back in the days, like, it's different. It's very, very different from us. Guys, I look young, but I'm matured. You know, I try to be mature. I try. So it's very different.
I did not want to be mature. Sorry.
Really, seriously. So it's Thando, you're so funny. Like, honestly, guys, it's different. It's a different feel. Like how people do their social medias right now and how people get their followers is very different from the times that we had. We are having to adjust and relearn the skills, pretty much learn the skills, because it's all different now. So it's like we're picking up ourselves again. So this is what I'm in the process of doing, re-picking up myself, because the way social media is, like, I have to study it again and be like and try to match with people, and I have to learn to talk to people, because I wasn't used to talking to people, but now I have to learn to talk to the whole world. Like, seriously, enough of being a snob. You have to respond to people, because your fans are your hope and they're your people. So gone are the days where you could just say, okay, I'm not replying this Facebook message, you know, because I'm exhausted. I'll reply later. You have to, because they're your followers. And these days, especially the Zim community, the way the fans have been given freedom to talk and give their opinions. I have seen some artists like being burnt out on Facebook. I will not say names, but geez, guys, you need to be kind.
Keyboard warriors, I've seen them, and I've seen Sunny Makaliba being bashed. And I'm like, Sunny, don't respond. Just don't. If you're bashing, do not respond.
It's intense. And I said to my mom, like, my mom was like, because you've got a big mouth. Like, I answer, like, I reply back. You will not burn me, and I will not burn you back. And I was like, okay, how am I going to survive with these people? But you know what? I guess it's about just being humble. But there was one guy. He said to me on the H Metro newspaper, he was like, you don't have a good body at all. You're fat. And I was like, who am I fat for? I'm not your wife. So you can't say that to me, because I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not your wife. Who am I fat for? So don't say those kind of things to me. So I'm a person like who will, if someone bombards me with such a message like that, I will not keep quiet. Not that I will not be nice. I will be nice, but you can't say that to me. You're a guy, and you come to me and you say, those arms. I'm like, those arms aren't for you, darling. This is why you're not mine, and you don't even suit to be mine anyway. You're not even my type. So I'm one of those people who will answer back if I have to answer back.
Well, I used to be that kind of person. Like you're saying, you have to read on social media. I used to be able to respond. Although the one thing that I still respond up until now is the whole support system. That's one thing I always emphasize. I know with the Zimbabweans, we're not so supportive of each other's work and stuff like that. And I wish we could, like you mentioned earlier on, could you work with Nigerians and you're surprised that you've been nominated for 4 awards because of that push, right? Because Nigerians are united like that. That's the one thing that I will never keep quiet about. Because you know what? Zimbabweans, we just need to learn to support each other. Once you've made it Idol, or once you've made it Net Dev Jam, once you've made it Net Warner's recording, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, Tarisai raised the flag. Okay, where were you when she was trying to get there? Right?
Yeah.
Is the part that I'm like, I am not going to keep quiet about it. Let's support each other as Zimbabwe.
We do as artists. Like I was just sharing with Pastor G just now, like his contacts are very different from mine. So we're pretty much sharing each other's songs and unplugging to different radio stations that we don't know. Like the ones I don't know, he unplugs mine. The ones that he doesn't know, I unplug mine. And it's all about that versatility. You have to be like that and be supportive. If it's an artist, if it's an acting industry, if you hear that a role suits somebody, it doesn't suit you, feel free to shout out and say, hey girl, do you want to try this out? Or do you want to try this out? It's all about support, because you have your strengths and I have mine, and it's all about combining. But when people get into the whole competitive attitude, it doesn't really bring much blessings. But if you decide to share and collaborate with people and share ideas, it's really, really, really helpful.
Oh, so exactly what you've just said. There's a group called the Voltrons. They're from West Africa, a group from West Africa, and they do exactly what you're saying. Talented actors, web developers, you name it. When they're in the room and somebody hires them or they're looking for another position, they're like, I know somebody who's a good singer. I will call Tarisai, my fellow person.
Massive, yeah.
Exactly, right? Because I cannot sing and I know Tarisai can sing and she's from my country, so why not elevate her? Because once you're up there, it gets lonely as well. Or you meet people, right? So your own people who understand where you're coming from and where you're going, right? It's like I totally love what you said right there. And so what I know, Gutijani, you face challenges in our everyday life, especially in the music industry. How have you managed to get yourself up over from a challenge, or because it's not easy, really, not even just music, but everything that we do in life, chasing our dreams and stuff like that. So how do you manage to lift yourself up after a challenge?
You know what, like I know this is different for people. Like I'm in a prophetic ministry. So that is the advantage. I don't know why some people don't believe in the prophetic. I think it's because the body of Christ has been spoiled by certain people that have pretty much done things that have affected people's faith. But I am so grateful that our ministry, God's Power Ministries, and my spiritual father, he's a prophet. He's from Ghana. So he has given us prophecies and guides us using that direction. And once we follow that direction, it things that he has said about us have come to pass. There's certain things, certain projects that I am doing that he prophesied about yesterday, and I haven't seen him for a long time. I haven't seen him because he was just in Ghana recently for about 2 months, and he didn't know that I've done certain things, and he spoke about it, but he doesn't know that he doesn't know that I've already started what he prophesied about. So it gives us like direction in how we go. And that is one thing that keeps me going, because sometimes you wake up and you're very, very tired and you remember what God has said to you through him, or even dreams. I'm also prophetic as well, like especially in dreams. I've seen certain things I'm told through dreams. God speaks to me through dreams and they come to pass, like pretty much. And that comes by prayer. I'm always praying. I'm literally always praying all the time. And for me, with ministry, it starts at the place of prayer. That's what it is. Mine is a worship ministry. It starts at the place of prayer and relationship with God, and that gives me direction. Not saying that it's not difficult. I remember for Mighty God, the video was intense for us. It was intense. We had to re-edit many times and things like that. And it wasn't an easy road, an easy journey, but I still remembered what God had told me about it and what was going to happen. And then bam, it happened. So it's all about prayer for me. I'm not sure about what other people are, how they are, but this is a ministry. It's not just gospel music, it's a ministry. It's all about prayer for me.
Guys, I hope people are paying attention and listening. And I know some people might condemn saying, oh, j'ai prophecy. And like you're saying, people have had their faith tested so many times.
They've had their fake ones, yeah.
Exactly. And meeting the wrong people. But one thing I've actually learned through this journey of prayer and faith is when it comes to prophecy, and have learned and seen things come to pass, is because you're the one person who can confirm your own prophecy, if that makes sense.
That's right. And believe in it.
Exactly. So, and I always say that, but I totally get it. I've been ruined by ministry. I've been ruined so many times, but the times when I'm like, God, why is it I'm still faithful, and know that you're still here, right? But it's because I just trust that he's there and everything works together for our own good, right? And I am so proud of the way you think and, just putting God first in everything that you do. So what has been the most memorable moment about your career so far? Other than just the nominations.
the nominations, to be honest with you, I love being a Disney child. To be honest, I really love just being told to be a part of the LK is a blessing. Meeting the Angelina Jolies and her 6 brood or kids, that was a funny thing. Like just having her come to watch us, meeting Serena Williams and those kind of things. Like you know, the Roger Federers and things like that. Those are amazing moments. To be honest with you, they are, because those are famous people, like really famous people, and you get to sit and watch tennis sitting next to them, or having to meet up and have a chat with them randomly, and, you know, having them to watch your show. Those are memorable things, literally memorable things. So for me, being part of Disney Lion King is actually a blessing, because it opened up many doors for me. Vocally, I've improved a lot. I'm very fussy about my vocals. For me, it's even a bigger, it's a bigger step than Idol. For me, it was a bigger step than Idol. So that is has been one of my memorable things in life, and I'm eternally grateful for that. And I believe that there's more to come, even though I won't say what I need to say, but I've like, even though it seems like that now, but
but you know, sometimes it's always good to surprise us.
It's good. It's good.
Who's the name anyway? Is this Tarisai? Like, what?
I know. And when I say that, my spiritual father laughs at me, because he says, this girl. So you actually think that's going to be just the biggest memorable thing in your life? I'm like, yes. It's like, forget it, because you don't know what's up there for you, man. You just don't know. And I was like, and he was like, you don't see what I see. That is why. And I was like, so I laugh, because I laugh at that. And I'm really grateful to see what God is going to do with me, pretty much. And because I remember I never thought I'd sing gospel music. I remember my previous pastors in FIF would say that, and I'll be like, what's wrong with this woman? What is wrong with you? That is not what I'm planning to do. Amaya, calm down the edge, just sitting. You bet you know I'm here.
And so look at you now.
Gosh, I go way back. Yeah.
Funny. So what's your favorite way to unwind after a very hard day?
Okay, apart from shoes, I think I've recovered from the over shopping shoes and everything. I've really recovered. I've improved, guys. I've improved. I think it's because I'm starting to think about investments, and I'm investing now. So that's why I've really improved on shoes. It was really bad in my end of teenage years into my 20s. I think I had about 300 pairs of shoes. It was terrible.
Oh
but now I've improved. So I love watching movies. Nice. I was just watching Coming to America too just now, just before we started. So I love watching movies. I really, really adore watching movies. Lately, it's been very hard to even watch even The Simpsons, because I've been busy with interviews and sorting myself out. But watching movies is my thing. I wind down and I pretty much relax. And bear in mind, I'm studying my master's as well. I'm just about to finish. So that's really, really hectic. I tell you, just about 3 weeks ago, I was submitting my last assignment for the semester, and I misread the date. I thought it was due on the 24th of February. And then the lecturer comes to me in the email. She's like, oh, Tarisai, you haven't submitted your 3rd assignment. You haven't even applied for an extension. I just wanted to check if everything is okay. What is wrong? And I was like, what? And then I checked the date, and she was like, it's 2 weeks overdue. And I was like, I'm so sorry. She forgave me, and she gave me an extension. And I said, I'm really sorry. And that was the week that Mighty God was being released as well. And I was like, I'm very, very sorry. Please just forgive me. It was just me reading the wrong date. So it was just the grace of God. So I have people that are so supportive, including my lecturers at uni and everything. So I wind down by watching movies and really relaxing, or going for a walk or gym. If it's music, no, I don't wind down listening to music, because I would have listened to it, I would have written or coached someone vocally, and I just need to stay away from it for a while. So it's just watching movies. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's cool. That's cool. And if you had one message, just one message to give to your fans, what would it be?
I would like to say thank you. There's some fans that have followed me since my idol days, e.g. yelling at a judge. Guys, if you go to YouTube, go and watch that video. Look for it. It's shocking. I have tried to have that video removed off YouTube and it's not coming off. And I was like, guys,
social media, for not even just social
oh
media,
my
the
God.
internet. Just
Yeah.
post something, you're done. Like it's
So,
never gonna come off.
my point is, are my grandchildren gonna come across that video? Is my concern. Now that I am a minister of God and not on the other side of the world like that.
Now I want to go look for it.
It's crazy. Now I make a laughing point out of it, and I was like, so my grandkids and my children are gonna watch this.
Oh, definitely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Where it is, it's right at the top. When you search my name, that is what comes, one of the first videos. And I was like, Lord, can you do something about this? Can you pretty much do something of this thing needs to come off? So
But how about looking at it as if somebody was to see that and they know you now, they know there's a God who's a redeemer.
There is a God who's a redeemer. Yeah. Apart from being accused of things that I hadn't done, that was that was intense. Right. Although I'm really, really grateful that the judge got fired after that, because that was justice from God itself. Mm-hmm. But you know, just having fans that have followed me since that time up until now, I'm really grateful for them, because they have seen my journey and they've been with me throughout that journey. I'm really thankful for the new ones that have come on board and they're so supportive. I will say thank you so much, guys. More is coming, and continue to share the music. Remember, this is not even about me. I'm just a vessel, pretty much. Like, I've got nothing to do with this. I'm just a vessel, and the message has to continue across the world, and to people that are brokenhearted, for just God to remend through worship. So if we can continue to share, not even thinking about me, just think about who the Creator is, and because we reverence Him. That's it. That's pretty much it. It's not even my thing, but it's God's ministry. So please keep sharing the song, keep going, and I am here. Anybody who needs prayer, shout out on Instagram. I always reply.
Always.
I always reply. Nowadays, I always reply. I've got so much time to attend to people and pray for people and everything.
Nice.
DM me if you need vocal coaching. I'm a very good vocal coach, no doubt.
So let me tell you, I had a dream today. Please don't laugh.
What dream did you have?
So I was singing and I had a very high note. I was like, holy, is that me?
Do you sing, girl? Do you sing?
Okay, so we once had a girl band when I was still young, right? And then, you know, but then when you grow up and then you're kind of trying to figure out your voice and all that jazz, and then somebody says, Amanda, just don't. Like, you're ruining it.
Oh, that's sad.
So then you're like, maybe that's not my scene and all that. But then I won't stop having my karaoke singing in my car everywhere I'm going.
Wow.
My karaoke singing.
So where was the girl band from? Where was the girl band from?
Oh gosh, we were so young, and it was called, I think it was called Space Jam Girls. Yes. And
where from?
In Zim. We're still in Zim. Yeah. Nice. And I even still remember the songs that we wrote. And oh my gosh, it's just so funny. We'll talk about it in our interview. And then today, I dreamt with a very high note, and I was like, no, me singing. And I woke up, I was laughing. I was like, who are you?
But maybe it's a way of rejoicing. Like singing, obviously, it's about joy. So maybe it's a way of rejoicing for you. Never take dreams for granted. Dreams always have pretty much a meaning, something that's coming up. And I think singing is a form of rejoicing. So you're probably rejoicing.
Because I have so many dreams like that I relate to and stuff like that. Like I dream a lot with people. So to me, having to sing and like you're saying, rejoicing, I just moved, and also chasing my career, chasing my dreams. So you just never know. So I would just continue praying about it. And you never know, maybe I will end up singing.
You never know. Even your children. Do you have kids yet?
No, not yet.
Taking time like us, girl.
Right.
You know who I thought? really, I was like, I was like, I saw my dad yesterday, and I was
Yeah,
like, Anaigura is my second cousin, and I was saying to my dad, I was like, oh, my nana, it's time for you to have kids. Like, it's time for her to have kids. And I was like, oh, we need to pray about it. It's
yeah.
about, I think I say 41, 42, and she's enjoying her freedom and Hollywood starship. I'm like, God, it's time, it's time, it is time, it is time, it is
The
time.
moment that I wanted to have kids, yes, you know,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
easy because you know how
Vision.
culture and our family is saying time
Yeah.
5 o'clock, and your vision is now going that way, and you're
It's
like,
going that way. I'm always being asked that question, and I'm like, none of your business. In my heart, I'm like, just leave it like that. Just
leave.
stop asking, for goodness sake. Just stop asking. In due time and in God's time, definitely.
Exactly, we trust that and amen to that. So, last but not least, same condition, you're relearning social media and all that jazz and just coming
Yeah.
back. Where can people follow your music to support, to share, to like, to subscribe, and to listen?
Okay. So Tarisai Vushe is on YouTube. There's my YouTube channel where Mighty God is. You'll find it. My Instagram, I've got two Instagrams. Don't ask why, how. I just have two Instagrams.
You're
So
still
there's
relearning, guys. Just bear in mind.
still relearning. Two Instagrams are supposed to be one. So I've got official Tarisai Vushe and there's Tarisai Vushe. Both of them function. Facebook, you'll find me. Just two accounts. Tarisai Vushe is in the face, but they're full already, guys. So come to the Instagram one because Facebook is so full. I don't even know
I
how to manage it
know.
anymore.
Oh,
Yeah. So the
that is
Instagram.
so
Please follow
good.
me on Instagram. Follow
And
me on
guys, do
Instagram.
like my loves at Tenges Way. It's for free. Please
Exactly.
share. Do not hate. Jingo share. Kungo share. Apart from that, I
Share,
send
share,
it.
share the song, guys.
It's just
My
free.
love, my life.
To share the song and my love and my likes. Thank you so much, Tarisai. It was such a pleasure and
Thank
an
you,
honor
Tando.
to have you on Tough Love Giggles and just to get to know you as Tarisai.
Thank
And looking forward to a whole lot more. Yo, girl, all I can say is
you.
I will see you in Hollywood.
Ah, yes. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Miss Amy. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much, guys. Lots of love. I'll speak to you on the DMs. Please DM me, DM me, DM me. Okay. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Miss Amy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, guys, you heard it for yourselves. This is Tarisai Vushe, such a talented young lady based in Australia. You've already heard her journey. And now, those who are actually tuning in or just tuned in, Pangova interview and missed her song, Mighty God, we're definitely going to play it for you right here on After Five Radio. That is what we do. We showcase music. Yema Zimbas in the diaspora so that you guys get to know them and support them. And please, like we said, and the sharing, loving, and liking is just free 99. So please do that for Tarisai and look forward to more of what it is that she has in store for us. So right about now, I am just playing you, Mighty God. Enjoy it. Take care. And yeah, Tarisai, this is for you. Take care, actually, because Tichine Kamweka Awa Kelupano.
Thank you, lovely.
All right, take care. All right, enjoy
I
my
love you.